the Boston Marathon as well. We're just about a week away, tomorrow will be a week away from the Boston Marathon, and two of our very own are running the historic race for two incredible charities. NBC 10's Matt Prichard and Malcolm Johnson sat down to reflect on their training journey and what's ahead as they prepare to run 26.2 miles.
Well, good Sunday morning. You know, we do these sit-downs every single week, and normally we're talking with someone that's esteemed, someone that's of high profile, and that is the case today as well, but it's a little bit different. We're not doing politics. We're going to talk running because we're 1 week out from the Boston Marathon. Malcolm Johnson and myself, both NBC 10 reporters, have the opportunity to run in this race and are doing it for charity. So, Malcolm, thanks for coming in early for your shift and doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
How are you feeling 1 week out from the marathon?
I feel great. This is the best I've felt. Good. Because right now, we're in this taper period. For those out there that don't know, it's an opportunity after you've hit this peak of months of intense training to reduce your volume. And I haven't ran once this week.
It's amazing.
And my body has rid itself of inflammation. It feels brand new. Did you run this morning?
I didn't run this morning. I ran 5 miles on Tuesday on the treadmill, just to have a little more low impact, not having that, hitting the pavement with your feet. And then I feel like next week is like nothing. It's just try and get healthy. The other interesting thing is that we're both running for charity, which training for a marathon is hard no matter what you do, but raising funds while you're training for a marathon is a whole different beast. So what did you think going into this, into fundraising, and what did it ultimately end up being by the time it was all said and done?
I thought it was going to be daunting. I thought it was going to be a really challenging task to raise $10,000. Not the amount of money. I knew I had the network to do it, but to get outside of myself and ask for the money. That was the hurdle, but you recently hit your goal, right?
I did.
You hit your 8,000?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, mine was 8. He had 10 to do. So, these charities, they set a high bar, and they should, because the Boston Marathon is this elite race. You don't just get to run Boston just for the heck of it. I mean, you gotta earn it, whether that's qualifying or raising the money. I think what stood out to me is I did not realize how generous people would ultimately be. All my friends and family are good people and all those things, and I guess it makes perfect sense that they would be. But to see how much they wanted to support, throw in their hard-earned dollars in a moment, I think, where a lot of people are minding their dollars and cents, it just blew me away.
What was the hardest part?
Asking. I mean, you brought it up.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to go to someone and be like, hey, can you chip in X, Y, Z, just so I can run a race, especially because, and you're this way too, this is a transient business, journalism. Most of us aren't from the places where we're working at that moment. And so a lot of our network is outside of the Boston metro area. So like I'm running for Boston Medical Center. Folks in Boston know what that is. They know the great work that Boston Medical Center does for underserved members of our community. But my family in California, my family in Colorado, the folks I know in Georgia and all over the country, because, again, I've met so many people in journalism, they don't. So the only reason they would be donating is, sure, okay, it's a good cause, but we're donating because we want to support Matt.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
It is.
Because it takes effort on their part to get behind you, and you never know how much they're going to give. And you find a space where, to your point, you don't really care how much it is. I didn't really... It was the thought.
I mentioned Boston Medical Center for me. I want to give you an opportunity to talk about Boston Children's, who you're running for. So why choose Boston Children's?
Thank you. I just wanted to work with kids. And I've never worked with kids who have had any health ailments. I didn't know what that looked like. If you were dealing with epilepsy or end-stage renal disease, like my patient partner, Rafa, shout out to Rafa and his family. He got a kidney from his father at 16 months. Wow. I didn't know what these things were like for the children or for their families. And it's a cliche when you're a parent to say, we just want good health. We just want good health when the baby is born, right? Well, I wanted to contextualize that idea. Well, what does that look like if you don't get that gift of good health?
That's really cool, man. Yeah, it's two great causes. Boston Medical Center, Boston Children's do so much good work in our community. To wrap up our conversation, 1 week to go until the marathon. What do you think that moment is going to be like when we're out in Hopkinton standing on that starting line and the gun goes off.
I've thought about the finish and seeing my family. That I've thought about a million times. I think about that every day, you know. But the start, let's just get after it. How about you? Have you thought about the start? Of course you have.
Having been at the starting line of a marathon previously, when I ran San Diego Rock and Roll, the anticipation, the energy, the electricity of being around all these people who have done the exact same thing you've done, that community sort of energy that you can feel at a starting line, I'm excited for that. But to your point, finishing the Boston Marathon, people have described it as everyday people getting to dress up as professional athletes for one moment, running down Boylston, all the pomp and circumstance and the excitement, the national television cameras, all that stuff. Like, I just feel like it's just going to be an electric moment that we're going to carry with us forever.
You feel like it's all coming together at the right time?
I do. I think so. You know, everyone says get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Going with momentum. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. Malcolm Johnson, thanks for sitting down.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.